Greetings everyone, welcome back to the Horde. I am misaldragon, and it has been a while, you're not just imagining. Anyway, this video is an art one that's unscripted as they usually are, so we're gonna go through this as we usually do, with me talking whatever comes to my mind while this video plays in the background while I can watch it. And by that I mean the video is literally playing while I'm recording. I can see it going on as the speed paint while I'm recording this, so yeah, there's that. Anyway, you're probably wondering what I'm drawing, and today I was making a Draxees, one of my original species, for someone. This one is a legendary, so if some of the traits look a bit weird compared to what I usually make, that's why I don't make a lot of legendaries. This one was treated like a custom, so I'd make it for that person, and they tell me what they like, what they don't like, and what they want changed as I update them with what I'm doing. So if I occasionally pause during this while the speed paint's going, like if I stop doing something, that's why. I'm just checking in with the person whose Draxees this is gonna be, and they're gonna tell me what they want, and I change it based on that. For some of you, this Draxees might also be familiar. You might have seen him a couple of times because he's very active in the community, and by that I mean like he does a lot of stuff with me and what we usually do because we have game nights, and he's very active on that. He has attended all the game nights so far, so that's what's going on with that. Anywho, so if he's familiar, that's why. Also, yes, I do use bases to make the characters because it's easier on me and it makes things faster, so bases are used. Sometimes I trace over the bases if it seems like the lines are a bit blurry to make things a bit more crisp and clear. So yeah, there's that. Also, if you see the colors change a couple of times, again, it's because of what the person wanted this character to look like. They wanted me to try two different colors so they could see what it looked like. So they could choose one. One was going to be blues and purples, the other reds and oranges and stuff like that. So there were two different colors palettes to use so they could see which one they preferred. Anyway, that's about it for the color palette thing, I suppose. The eyes were easy, I think. A lot of them are usually easy. Did you know Draxees can have heterochromia? If you don't know what that means, it means like one eye is one color, one eye is the other color. So Draxees can have one blue eye, and one green eye, or one orange eye, and one brown eye if you wanted. And they don't have to be related colors. One could be purple and the other could be blue. Or, that's still related colors. All colors are related. One could be yellow or green, and one could be, you know, stuff like that. That's all fine. The person also wanted the Draxees to have triangle shapes on the legs, like triangle patterns, so I decided to try my best with that and show them a bunch of different styles of triangle patterns. By a bunch, I mean 3. That's not really a bunch, but you know, it is what it is. Also, if you're curious, Draxees are a closed species, meaning you can't really make one freely without, you know, paying or something like that, you know? But if you want one, I don't mind selling you one. The cheapest ones can sometimes be like $5 to $20, just depending on the complexity and how many accessories they have and everything like that, so it really depends on which one you want and all that. So I'm rambling and saying like and so a lot, so it's just something to give my brain time to think so I can actually speak proper, I guess. I also need to try and speak louder because I'm starting to mumble, and that's not good because that means you can't hear me over the music, so I need to try and talk louder and get used to my voice again, because that's a good thing to do as a YouTuber. You need to be able to talk for long amounts of time and speak loud enough for people to hear you. So anyway, let's see if I can do that. With the patterns on the legs, I wanted to make sure I got like both the colors correct, so the person could pick which colors they preferred, like the reds and the oranges or the blues, so I had to do both of them. And they wanted a lot of extras with this character, so I had to make sure that they were happy with everything they got, because there, again, was a lot. The colors, the different ones that I picked from, they chose this one, by the way. And I had to get rid of the extra colors. And then I had to do their glowing ref because Draxees glow. That's a common trait, and it's usually found in a lot of Draxees. Like 99.999% of Draxees have it. Like, very, very few Draxees can't glow. Or don't have a glowing pattern, rather. Draxees do tend to have a glowing pattern. Sometimes it's invisible to the eye, sometimes it's actually their pattern on their legs or their arms or whatever. It just depends on what you want and what kind of Draxees you have. Of course, it's a common trait, so you don't have to worry about not being able to get it because it's common. And I really liked how I did this. I really like watching it and the playback just go from a line to a fuzzy looking line, and it goes, and how it looks more pretty, I guess? Not exactly pretty. Bigger and fluffier and gradient. There it is. That's the word I was looking for, a gradient. Anyway, it's going to look a lot different when the yellow comes in because, yeah, there it is. It's a glowing pattern, so these two are usually seen when he's glowing in the dark, so you can't really see it usually, but if the lights go out, the Draxees can glow in the dark. And usually it's just their pattern and a couple of other things that glow, but it can sometimes be other things. The glowing pattern doesn't have to be the body pattern, as I've already said, but it can be if you want it to be, or it can be a little bit of both. As you can see here, the eyes glow, as well as the pattern on the body, whatever pattern you want it to be. Apart from the eyes, that little diamond-shaped hole in the chest also glows, as it can usually just, it's very unique, is what I'm trying to say. It's usually a window to the soul, so to speak, so it glows in the dark, and it's very powerful for a Draxees. It's also, like, something that a lot of Draxees keep protected very well, despite it being in their chest. It's something that they can put their arms around, or just put a hand over, whatever else. They're usually capable of protecting it pretty fine, and other Draxees know not to even mess with that spot because, you know, that's kind of personal. Now we come to one of the extras that the person wanted, and they asked for a robotic arm, a prosthetic arm. So Draxees usually have prosthetics if they lose like an eye, a leg, a wing, or something else like that. Sometimes they don't want to get a wing or whatever. They don't have to get a prosthetic if they don't want a prosthetic. It's an option. Usually it's robotic in nature, but it can be made out of something else. If you want a wooden prosthetic that grows plants, you can have one of those. Get creative is what I'm saying. Also, the species at the time of recording this is not completely done. It's released, but it isn't exactly done. I have made it to where people can read about it. I've making adopts. I've been working with the community, but I'm not completely 100% done making the species. So there is that. So if you want to get into them, be aware of that. I'm still working on some of the traits and other things, but you don't have to worry about that too much because, yeah, if I'm looking for more help with traits, I usually go to the species community and ask them, hey, what do you think about this? Or, hey, I need recommendations or something like that. Which is why I think a lot of people should be in the community if they like Draxees, so that they can help me with, like, future updates for the species. And they can have some of their input included in the species' lore, traits, or other stuff. Because I'm not done making them, and I'm going to be updating them as frequently as I can. And there's going to be, like, a lot of community stuff going on, so yeah. That's I think, why people should be a part of the community if they like the species, but they don't have to be. You can choose to have an unofficial Draxees, I don't mind, but you can't be part of the community with an unofficial Draxees. So if you want to be part of the community and can, like, help with the species and have game nights with the community and everything, that's where you would have to buy a Draxees or have an official Draxees so that you can be part of the community. If not, hey, you can draw whatever you want, I don't care. But going back to this Draxees, the person said the metallic arm looked good, so I decided to put on the other two so that it would be on the complete ref sheet, and when they showed it to other people, it would be consistent and not just have one with a metal arm and the other two without. So there's that. I've started to really like metallic shading, by the way. Like, it's not exactly easy, but it's really fun to do, and it looks pretty nice. So metallic shading's become something I really enjoy. If you're wondering about this Draxees, you can ask the owner. They're on Discord, I think? Like, they're in the community, and if you come into the community, you can ask them. You also don't have to have a Draxees to join the Discord. You just have to have a Draxees to participate, that's what I was saying. Participate in, like, some stuff. You can be in the Discord without a Draxees though and say, hey, I'm waiting around for when I get a Draxees so I can be officially a part of the group, but for now I'm just gonna stay around and peek around and look around and stuff like that. Talk to the people in the community and everything. You can do that. It's not something that you usually do. You can ask, but you know, MYOs can also be earned if you don't see one you like. And you can usually earn them through events and community stuff, so if you find out that you can't have a Draxees, or you don't have, not that you can't have, you don't want one that has been, that's an adopt or anything, you can say, no, I don't like this, hey, I'm gonna wait for an MYO. Because I don't really sell MYOs, because I don't think that's fair. You can earn one, or you can be given one as a gift or something, but you can't really buy one from me. You're probably wondering what's going on with the drawing, so I'll probably get back to that so you don't have to hear me rambling about MYOs. This Draxees had armor because of what his job is, so the person asked, could I put armor on it? And I'm like, yeah, sure, and so they said, okay, let's put some armor on him. So this is me designing the armor and what they wanted. A lot of Draxees don't wear armor usually, but you can have a Draxees with armor, you can have one that wears clothes. They don't usually have to wear clothes, they can also, you know, walk upright or all fours or all six or whatever. You can have one that's different from others. A lot of Draxees, all the Draxees should be different from others, but you know what I'm saying. You can have your Draxees wear armor if you want it, like this one is. You don't have to have me design the armor, you can design the armor. You can have the armor be damaged and you get a new armor ref if you want, and I don't have to design any of it. You can design it, you can have someone else design it, it doesn't matter. You could have bone armor, plant armor, plastic armor, paper armor. Look, those last two aren't really armors, they're more standard, but you know what I mean. You can have your armor made out of whatever you want, and you can have it in any color you want, you can have it see-through if you want. That's all fine and dandy, I don't care, as long as you're following the rules of the species and all that, that's fine. And for this armor, I asked the person, hey, what colors do you want? And they said red and black, and I said, do you know which one you want the primary to be? And they said black, and I said, okay, you want me to do the other one flipped around where red is the primary one, just to see how it looks, to see if you want that? They said, sure, so I started with the black ones to do the primary of that one first, and that's the first one they wanted, then I'd go to the red and see if they wanted like that better. After they had picked which one they like, I was going to do the others proper and do the colors for them so I don't like have to do all the colors all at once. And I tried to figure out how to do a helmet there, but I just gave up and went back to coloring because it's a lot easier, and I was gonna just take a small break before going back to the helmet to see if I could work it out. For now, though, just blocking in colors, and I know I could have just used the fill tool with the bucket, but at the time I didn't really know how to use this program properly. I had still gotten from my old program to this one, and my old program was just a tutorial level, not a tutorial, but like you can pay for it later kind of thing, where you don't have to pay for it now, one of those kind of things. So I was just figuring out how to use this because it's free and I've never used one of these kind of softwares before, and my old one had a lot of things blocked off because I hadn't paid for it yet. Trial. It was a trial thing. Trial. Yeah. So there was a lot to do and figure out, and it was all a learning process, but I'm really happy with the results, and I probably could have done better, but you know, it's a lot of fun, and he seems happy with it, so if he wants any changes in the future, he can let me know. And as you can see here, I started to go with the red, but I used the wrong red, so I'd have to go back and go over it, but everything seemed to be wrong, so I just erased it, and then decided to just go back in and try it again. I had to erase some of the lines there so it looked proper and correct, so it didn't look like it was bleeding into the metal arm there, so I had to thicken up some lines as well in the future, which you'll probably see a little later. You can see me going over some of the lines in the inside and erasing some things. That's just because I had to make sure everything looked proper and everything was a-okay. I couldn't see it with the black, so the red helped me to see a lot of the lines that were improper and to fix them, which helped a lot, so it was all nice. I also had to turn on the bottom layer with the black so I could see where all the black was in some spots to know which ones to color and which ones to leave out. After all that, I decided to try another whack at trying to make a helmet for the top, so you can see me doing that here, probably. Yeah, there it is. And I think I got it right that time, or at least I got some semblance of it looking right. because it went along with that kind of look with it. So I did something right. Also, sorry you keep hearing me adjust. I'm trying to swat a fly, and it keeps landing, and I have to readjust, and yeah, it's not great, but you know, I'm doing my best, and this is the longest I've ever talked in one setting without having someone to bounce off of, or trying to talk to someone, or just talking to fill empty space while I try and explain, but I'm just ended up rambling, and it sounds awful. I should probably stop, but I'm not gonna, because I need to make sure everyone can understand what's going on, and we got to the red tail fin thingy. Actually, that's part of the armor that can be used as a weapon that you can actually hurt someone with. I then went back and went in to put markings on the black, and so it would look nice, and there could actually be markings, and it could have some standout, and you could see it better, and you could look at it and say, yeah, that looks nice. I also did this triangle-like pattern because the character has a lot of triangles, so I decided, why not add some more? It'll help with the theming and the motif and everything like that. But later I went back and changed them because I decided, those triangles don't look good. I'm gonna change them and see how that looks. Yeah, see, I changed it right there, and I changed to a bit more triangles, but with a bit more, style to them, I guess you could say, so they don't look so blocky, I guess. They look different from the triangle underneath, so they're more unique and stand out. And then I had to go back and put in black details for the red armor so that it would look nice, and you could tell that there had to be spots on it that were stylish and all that. So I had to go back over the red spots I had just put in and put black on them so that they'd look nice on the armor. And he could have asked for me to change this if he wanted to, but he said that it looked nice, so I just did with it. And he also really liked the black armor with the red highlights, especially those leg parts. He said that it looked like a Black Widow, I think. It was one of those spiders that has that pattern, so that was nice. Also, if you're curious, this character took 11 hours and 37 minutes with all the details and everything. So from start to finish, the glowing rift, the armor, the extra arm, this metal, all that took about 11 hours and 37 minutes. I could be wrong on the exact time because I didn't check right before this. I checked yesterday, so I know that 11 hours is correct. I know that for certain. If I'm wrong, I might put something on screen to let you know, but maybe not. So yeah, there's that. It took a while to draw this character and make him look right, so if something still looks off, I'm sorry, but I didn't draw this for you. I drew this for someone else, and they're happy with it, so I'm just happy with it so long as they are. I do take customs for Draxees, but I don't know what prices I'm gonna say yet, so I guess it really depends on the complexity, rarity, and all that. Right now, I do not have a ref for how their back looks, but I do plan on getting one eventually. It's gonna take some time. Right now, I'm, again, working on the traits and everything to finish up the species, which they're coming to that point where they're going to be finished and the base Draxees will be good. Then I can stop and do some stuff with the community for a bit. Then I'm going to start making subspecies. Though before subspecies, I guess I should probably finish, the traits, not the traits, the back, the ref for the back, yes. After all that's kind of necessary, so I'll probably finish the back ref after I'm done with the species lore, and I have some time to let the community, sit and have their Draxees and enjoy them, and then I'm gonna be like, hey, guess what, new ref sheet just dropped, not ref sheet, but ref sheet. So you can have one on the back and you can see his side view if I can get that, and they'll be like, yay, and I hope they'll be like, yay, otherwise, they can use the old one or whatever. I do have bases, but I use them, so the community doesn't, because it's a closed species, and I don't mind letting people use a base, but I don't want it to be out there for anyone to use because it's a closed species. But it's bound to happen at some point, right? Here you can see me doing the other versions, not versions, but the other other poses. There we go. The other poses for the armor. So, like, he told me which ones he liked, and I said okay, and I decided to do not decided, but he decided, and I just went with it. So he had the other versions of this, and eventually I'm going to do one where you can see the thing is glowing, the armor is glowing, yeah, because he wanted a ref with the armor glowing, so I decided to do just one with the armor glowing, because it was taking a while to get this character done, and I didn't want to have a character that took 12 hours to draw. You could also learn about this character by asking the owner of him. I just drew him and said, yes, this is nice, and said, hey, this aesthetic works, or hey, I don't think this color's going to work, because at first the owner wanted the armor to be jet black, like the line art black, and I said, I probably can't do that because of how art rules are, but I can make it really dark gray, and they said, alright, so I made it a really dark gray, and this is how it turned out looking, and I think it's close enough to black to say, yeah, that's black. But, you know, it's not, like, line art black, so that's a good thing, I think. And it helps with all the, telling what all the details in the armor itself is, so you're not looking at, like, what's this black blob on this part of the body. So it works out pretty well, I think, and you can tell where all the lines are and where everything meshes up and where everything bends. So it has a lot more detail and you can see everything proper. I really like how the things on the feet turned out, like how they bend and how they look. So I think that turned out real nice personally. I also added a couple more details to the other ones because that's how it was supposed to look. And we're starting to near the end now, so I should probably just like let you take in the art and stop rambling on, but I'm probably going to ramble on because this is what I'm supposed to do, I think. And I think it looks pretty good, I think. Like, there are some things I missed and could have done better, but I like it overall. And I think the details came in nicely and you could tell everything looks nice. I could have maybe figured out how to angle everything a little bit better, but overall it was pretty good and it was certainly a learning experience. I'm hoping to become faster with my art so I can do more detailed things a lot faster without having to worry about it taking hours like it did with this one. But this one did have a lot of layers and a lot of hours and a lot of time and love put into them, so here I'm just finishing up the details and making it glow. So I'll let you have a great rest of your day. Take care of yourself, eat food, drink water, be good people, don't harass other people for their species, open or close, and have a great life. See you, and hope you enjoyed this art, the speed paint, and that you have an interest in whatever you have an interest in. If it's Draxees, cool. If it's not, cool. Just be good people, have a great day, drink water, take your meds, eat food, relax your shoulders, brush your teeth, all that good stuff. Okay, I'm gonna just be quiet now and let you enjoy the rest of the speed paint. So long! Tomorrow, the wipe your guts off the floor. Spent so many nights, but here's another.